today as it's time for Skyrim Storytime, as is tradition. Let's see where we left off. I know it's been a couple of days, so I wonder what treasures we will discover. I wonder what mischief we will stir. I have a nice big glass of water. We're social distancing like we're supposed to. That's why it's story time. Alright. Who's with me? Oh, that's right. I had to get Lydia because I was struggling. Oh, hello. Hello.
Yeah, to bother you.
Bother all you like.
Bother.
Damn it. What I was... This might work out. Yeah. They're not gonna... Thalmor butts. That's how we're starting the day. Thalmor booty. I am. The booty is revealed. I'm looking through these large sacks and booties, and we're just looting all the things. That always comes in handy, because we're getting close to getting our first homestead, so we'll need all the supplies we can get. Right? Right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
That's what
Oh, well, guess what time it is?
Time to read a book?
Time to read a book.
I see a book.
Ode to the Tundra Striders. Alright, we're gonna start. Hey. You know, last time we started streaming, it took us, what, a half an hour before we found a book?
At least.
Right? And the whole purpose of story time isn't just to watch me derp on Skyrim, it's to have story time. So, Ode to the Tundra Striders it is. O mighty Tundra Strider, how you and your mighty tusked beast silhouette against the great orange expanse. The thundering footsteps herald your herd, man and beast blazing trail together. One in nature, each relying upon the other. More than just man and beast, but equals who need one another to survive. How I long to run across the tundra in their mighty wake. That would truly be my greatest honor. No, following a tundra would be filing the poo trail. I don't want to do that. The morning would be spent gathering dyes to paint our mammoths and then carve the fiercest images into their tusks. Then it would be time for the skeever hunt. Our clubs would rain down upon the rat pest, smashing the life out of them. In the evening could sit around the campfire, and I would regale those nearby with songs of their majesty and grace. They would let me sample of the mammoth's cheese, a food so foul yet with healing properties so great. We'd snack on the roasted skeever we'd freshly caught that day before laying under the stars to sleep. I'd slowly fade to dream, nested in the radiating heat of mammoth fur, its cold-resisting properties keeping me snug. What a grand time we would have. Author unknown. Onwards. I have a kitten on my arm. She's trying to prevent me from doing the things.
How dare she?
Oh no. She says, no story time, mummy, no.
She wants to pay attention to me instead. Dash.
I know it.
F5 is your friend.
F5 is
No, F5 is for save.
Didn't hit it fast enough. Kitten's on my arm, and she needs to go play. Because I can't do this with her on it. It's going to be too hard. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness.
Might have to move the kitten.
I did. I just did. Because I don't think I have potions. Yeah, I only have these. That's it. So... Again with the butt.
Did you get for shoving your face? There. Gosh.
Alright. And since we did read this one, I'm going to head and highlight it. And we're going to save here.
Good girl. Smart girl.
At least we're getting further.
You should fur.
For... Come on, let me get at least one shot off.
Stop that. Huh? Must have scared him off.
Come on back here. Come on. Come on. There you go. Because if we do this smart... Okay, one's dead. See, if I do this smart, we won't bring the other two running. We might get a fair shake. Healing, I'll take that.
Huh?
Stay behind me, fat man. Come on, do as I ask. Here we go.
Stop that. Is someone there?
Oh, you got in my frickin' way again. See, he's a turd burglar.
Murder your turds.
Okay, we're saving. They actually let me get through. Holy camole! You had an interesting glowy thing, and none of you are shaking down the glowy? Alright, whatever. Alright, let's see. dusty. Let's see. Oh, I'm not talking very much because this is where we kept dying all the time. Because of my dinglehopper companions here.
Yes. Dinglehop your companion.
Come on, back up. See, again, they're so loud.
Charge, charge. Or something. I are Nord, I am fierce.
But oh yeah, save. I didn't want quick save. I want saved. Okay. We are saved.
Watch what you're.
Well, if you wouldn't, put your butts to nuts here, we'd be able to move on. But no, you really want to be up my gravy. So frickin' impatient. Skill book. Found it. Argonian account book.
You have one to call it preview.
Alright.
Preview.
Let's see. See, they question my every move.
No, it'll be.
What a
It'll be kind of like
bunch of nords.
emails and where users probably look at from or whatnot.
You died in an interesting spot.
Well, yes, I did. But
I'll take that too. Gold.
Yeah, reading pane you want to the right.
So,
Yeah.
for those listening, you may end up hearing my hubby, who's also in quarantine with me,
I
having
just
to
had
work
figure out
from
where you
home.
were.
But that's a good thing.
No,
'cause
no,
we
no,
get-
you choose
we
bottom
get to
if you
work.
like, if you, depending on what
Uh-oh.
you know, what
Dang
you
it.
like to do, but you can change it to bottom if you want that preview pane below. But most people have it on the right.
Yeah, you guys go play.
Yeah.
You guys won't do this sneaky thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'll wait until you're done.
Nice and easy. You know, yeah, you don't have to wait a week. Bring it in there. Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
I'm here. I knew I'd find you. What's in the world? We gotta get you out of here. Come on, let's go. You there? What are you doing? I never thought I'd see another friendly face again. We need to get to safety as soon as possible. Let's move.
You guys ready? Alright, let's go.
There's someone there. Nothing here after all.
What do you mean, nothing here? It's thanks to me, Ding Ding. I should work on my lockpicking, but I'm kind of low on lockpicks. And I've got an injured man behind me, so we will be kind and get him home safe. Although, I think I spy books. So, what do we have here? Looks like Ancestors and the Dunmer. Ghosts walk among them, the departed spirits of the Dunmeri, and perhaps those of all races, persist after death. The knowledge and power of departed ancestors benefits the bloodlines of the Dunmeri houses. The bond between the living family members and immortal ancestors is partly blood, partly ritual, partly volitional. A member brought into the house through marriage binds himself through ritual and oath into the clan, and gains communication and benefits from the clan's ancestors. However, his access to the ancestors is less than his offspring, and he retains some access to the ancestors of his own bloodline. The family shrine. Each residence has a family shrine. In poorest homes, it may be no more than a hearth or alcove where family relics are displayed and venerated. In wealthy homes, a room is set aside for this use of the ancestors. This shrine is called the Waiting Door and represents the door to oblivion. Here the family members pay their respects to their ancestors through sacrifice and prayer, through oaths sworn upon duties, and through reports on the affairs of the family. In return, the family may receive information, training, and blessings from the family's ancestors. The ancestors are thus the protectors of the home, and especially the precincts of the Waiting Door. The Ghost Fence. It is a family's most solemn duty to make sure their ancestors' remains are interred properly in a city of the dead, such as Necrum. Here, the spirits draw comfort from one another against the chill of the mortal world. However, as a sign of great honor and sacrifice, an ancestor may grant that part of his remains be retained to serve as part of a ghost fence, protecting the clan's shrine and family precincts. Such an arrangement is often part of the family member's will, that a knucklebone shall be saved out of his remains and incorporated with solemn magic and ceremony into a clan ghost fence. In more exceptional cases, an entire skeleton or even a preserved corpse may be bound into a ghost fence. These remains become a beacon and focus for ancestral spirits, and for the spirit of the remains in particular. The more remains used to make a ghost fence, the more powerful the fence is. And the most powerful mortals in life have the most powerful remains. The great ghost fence created by the tribunal to hold back the blight incorporates the bones of many heroes of the temple and of the houses in Doril and Redoran, who dedicated their spirits to the temple and clan as their surrogate families. The ghost fence also contains bones taken from the catacombs of Necrum and the many battlefields of Morrowind. The mortal chill. Spirits do not like to visit the mortal world, and they do so only out of duty and obligation. Spirits tell us that the other world is more pleasant, or at least more comfortable for spirits, than our real world,
You take it easy. Yep.
which is cold, bitter, and full of pain and loss. Mad spirits. Spirits that are forced to remain in our world against their will may become mad spirits or ghosts. Some spirits are bound to this world because of some terrible circumstances of their death, or because of some powerful emotional bond to a person, place, or thing. These are called hauntings. Some spirits are captured and bound to enchanted items by wizards. If the binding is involuntary, the spirit usually goes mad. A willing spirit may or may not retain its sanity, depending on the strength of the spirit and the wisdom of the enchanter. Some spirits are bound against their wills to protect family shrines. This unpleasant fate is reserved for those who have not served the family faithfully in life. Dutiful and honorable ancestral spirits often aid in the capture and binding of wayward spirits. These spirits usually go mad and make terrifying guardians. They are ritually prevented from harming mortals of their clans, but that does not necessarily discourage them from mischievous or peevish behavior. They are exceedingly dangerous for intruders. At the same time, if an intruder can penetrate the spirit's madness and play upon the spirit's resentment of his own clan, the angry spirits may be manipulated. Oblivion. The existence of oblivion is acknowledged by all Tamriel, especially in cultures, but there is little agreement on the nature of that other world, other than it is the place where the Aedra and Daedra live, and that communication and travel are possible between this world and Oblivion through magic and ritual. The Dunmer do not emphasize the distinction between the world and Oblivion as do the human cultures of Tamriel. They regard our world and the other world as a whole, with many paths from one end to the other, rather than two separate worlds of different natures and distinct borders. This philosophical viewpoint may account for the greater affinity of elves for magic and its practices. Foreign views of Dunmeri ancestor worship and spirit magic. The Altmeri and Mossmeri cultures also venerate their ancestors, but only by respecting the orderly and blissful passage of these spirits from this world to the next. That is, wood elves and high elves believe it is cruel and unnatural to encourage the spirits of the dead to linger in our world. Even more grotesque and repugnant is the display of the bodily remains of ancestors in ghost fences and ash pits. The presentation of finger bones in a family shrine, for example, is sacrilegious to the Bosmer, who eat their dead, and barbaric to the Altmer, who inter their dead. The human cultures of Tamriel are ignorant and fearful of dark elves and their culture, considering them to be inhuman and evil. Like orcs and Argonians, but more sophisticated, the human populations of Tamriel associate Dunmeri ancestor worship and spirit magic with necromancy. In fact, this association of the dark elves with necromancy is at least partly responsible for the dark reputation of Dunmer throughout Tamriel. This is generally an ignorant misconception, for necromancy outside the acceptable clan rituals is a most abhorrent abomination in the eyes of the Dunmer. The dark elves would never think of practicing sorcerous necromancy upon any dark elf or upon the remains of any elf. However, dark elves consider the human and orcish races to be little more than animals. There is no injunction against necromancy upon such remains, or on the remains of any animal, bird, or insect. Imperial policy officially recognizes the practices of Dunmeri ancestor veneration and spirit magic as a religion and protects their freedom to pursue such practices, so long as they do not threaten the security of the empire. Privately, most imperial officials and traders believe dark elf ancestor worship and displays of remains are barbaric or even necromantic. Telvanni, quote-unquote, necromancy. The Telvanni are adept masters of necromancy. They do not, however, practice necromancy upon the remains of dark elves. Sane Telvanni regard such practices with loathing and righteous anger. They do practice necromancy upon the remains of animals and upon the remains of humans, orcs, and Argonians, who are technically no more than animals in Morrowind. Publisher's note: this book was written by an unknown scholar as a guide for foreign visitors to Morrowind shortly after the armistice was signed. Many of these practices have since fallen into disfavor. The most obvious changes are those regarding the practice of necromancy and the Great Ghost Fence. The Dunmer today regard necromancy upon any of the accepted races as an abomination. The Ghost Fence has forced many changes in the practice of ancestor worship, with the vast majority of ancestors' remains going to strengthen the Great Ghost Fence around the mountain of Degathur. There are very few clan ghost fences in Morrowind. The temple discourages such practices among the houses as selfish. The upkeep of family tombs and private waiting doors has also fallen into disfavor, as very few remains have been buried in these tombs and shrines since the armistice. In recent years, most Dunmer venerate a small portion of their ancestors' remains kept at a local temple. That was kind of interesting, actually.
Mm-hmm. I'm learning shit, yo.
We're learning! We're learning!
Yay, words.
Words! For us to learn and share with each other.
Maybe you understand.
Truly.
Indubitably.
I cannot thank you enough for rescuing me from this place. I suspect I'd never again see the light of day otherwise. But why would you risk your life for me, a stranger? Of course, I should have known. Abelstein was behind this, wasn't he? I cannot stay. Not here. Not in Whiterun. It likely won't be safe for Abelstein either. Our best hope now is to fall in with the ranks of the Stormcrows. But would you do me a favor? Tell my mother to suffer the winter's cold wind, for it bears aloft next summer's seeds. She'll know what it means. I thank you again, friend. You've given me my life back.
Still here. Very well. Take care.
Bye, Lydia. Bye, Felicia. Bye.
Bitch.
I know, right? I want to like her, but I just don't.
Ooh,
Lydia.
I don't want to.
I want to, but I can't. Alright, let's go home
I
to
don't want to, and I can't.
Rorikstead. I went to Rorikstead. I've been to Falkreath. Am I not Thane of Falkreath yet? Hold on. Let's look at inventory.
Becoming a thing is usually not that easy.
For them, no, I'm a Thane of Whiterun. That's right.
Yeah, Whiterun's a joke. You
It's
get that.
easy to do Falkreath, though.
Falkreath isn't that hard either.
Yeah.
I mean, usually it requires like doing quests for a number of people.
Yeah,
But they're not hard. They just take a little bit of time. There's TR. Hey! You've decided to follow me. Did Cookie stop streaming? I'm gonna do something naughty and sneak into this old woman's house.
Do it. Plunder it. Pillage.
Anybody coming?
Oh.
There. She's not there. Alright, lady. Where you at? Old lady. What time is it? It's 3:30 in the morning. You should be up here tucked snug in one of your... Oh, God, books. Okay, looks like we're reading a book. But first,
Oh, God.
where the hell is this old woman? There she is.
Nope.
Please tell me.
Wait, I need to read.
Is he? You've saved him? I must see him at once.
I'm like
What?
30 seconds behind.
After all this, I'm coming to see him? How? How do I know you're telling me the truth and not just what I want to hear? Foreign bears unloved. Next summer's scenes. That's my boy. So it's true then. For now it's enough to know that he's alive. I can find peace in that. Thank you, dear friend. You've given me back my son. I'd had the Orland forge this for Thorald. It was to be a present for his return. I suppose he can't have it now. Why don't you take it? We can always make another for the day when this war ends and Thorald can come home.
Nice.
Always a pleasure.
Hella expensive book. 2 hella expensive books.
Alright, what are we grabbing?
Good to see you.
I'm glad you're happy to see me. We're going to read this one. The Arcturian Heresy by the Underking Ysmir Kingmaker. With his god destroyed, Wulfharth finds it hard to keep his form. He staggers out of Red Mountain to the battlefield beyond. The world has shaken, and all of Morrowind is made of fire. A strong gale picks up and blows his ashes back to Skyrim. Wulfharth adopts and is adopted by the Nords then. Ysmir the Grey Wind, the Storm of Cain. But through Lorcan, he lost his national identity. All he wants the Nords for is to kill the Tribunal. He raised a storm, sends in his people, and is driven back by Tribunal forces. The Dunmer are too strong now. Wulfharth agrees and goes underground to wait and strengthen and reform his body anew. Oddly enough, it is Almalexia who disturbs his rest, summoning the Underking to fight alongside the Tribunal against Adasum dir Kamal, the Akaviri demon. Wulfharth disappears after Adasum is defeated and does not return for 300 years.
300,000 years.
I know. It is the rumbling of the Greybeards that wake him. Though the Empire has crumbled, there are rumors that a chosen one will come to restore it. This new emperor will defeat the elves and rule a united Tamriel. Naturally, Wulfharth thinks he is the figure of the prophecy. He goes directly to High Hrothgar to hear the Greybeards speak. When they do, Ysmir is blasted to ash again. He is not the chosen one. It is a warrior youth from High Rock. As the Grey Wind goes to find this boy, he hears the Greybeard's warning. Remember the color of betrayal, King Wulfharth. The Western Reach was at war. Kubla Khain, the king of Falkreath in West Cyrodiil, was in a bad situation. To make any bid at unifying the Colovian estates, he needed to secure his northern border, where the Nords and Reachmen had been fighting for centuries. He allies with Skyrim at the Battle of Old Hroldan, leading his forces with Hjalti Earlybeard. Hjalti was from the island kingdom of Alcair in High Rock. and would become Tiber Septim, the first emperor of Tamriel. Hjalti was a shrewd tactician, and his small band of Colovian troops and Nord berserkers broke the Reachman line, forcing them back beyond the gates of Old Hroldan. A siege seemed impossible, as Hjalti could expect no reinforcements from Falkreath. That night a storm came and visited Hjalti's camp. It spoke with him in his tent. At dawn Hjalti went up to the gates, and the storm followed just above his head. Arrows could not penetrate the winds around him. He shouted down the walls of Old Hroldan, and his men poured in. After their victory, the Nords called Hjalti Talos, or Storm Crown. Kublai Khan, with his new invincible general, unifies West Cyrodiil in under a year. No one can stand before Hjalti's storms. The Underking knows that if Hjalti is to become Emperor of Tamriel, he must first capture the Eastern Heartland. Hjalti uses them both. He needs Kublai Khan and the Colovian estates, where foreigners are mistrusted. It is obvious why he needs Ysmir. They march on the east. The battle mages surrender before their armies, and they take the citadel. Before Kublai Khan can be crowned, Hjalti secretly murders him and his loyalist contingent. These assassinations are blamed on the enemies of Kublai Khan, which, for political reasons, are still the Western Reach. Zurin Arctus, the Grand Battle Mage, not the Underking, then crowns Hjalti as Tiber Septim, new emperor of all Cyrodiil. After he captures the imperial throne, Septim finds the initial administration of a fully united Cyrodiil a time-consuming task. He sends the Underking to deal with the imperial expansion into Skyrim and High Rock. Ysmir, mindful that it might seem as if Tiber Septim is in two places at once, works behind the scenes. This period of level-headed statesmanship and diplomacy, this sudden silence, heretofore unknown in the roaring tales of Telosian conquest, are explained away later. The assassination story is embroidered. Now it is popularly Talos's own throat that was cut. The human kingdoms are conquered, even Hammerfell, whose capture was figured to be an arduous task. The Underking wants a complete invasion, a chance to battle their foreign wind spirits himself, but Tiber Septim refutes him. He has already made a better plan, one that will seem to legitimize his rule. Cyrodiil supports the losing side of a civil war and are invited in. Finally, the Empire can turn its eyes onto the elves. The Underking continues to press on Tiber Septim the need to conquer Morrowind. The Emperor is not sure that it is a wise idea. He has heard of the Tribunal's power. The Underking wants his vengeance, and reminds Tiber Septim that he had to conquer the elves, even the Tribunal. Arctus advises against the move, but Septim covets the ebony and Morrowind, as he sorely needs a source of capital to rebuild Cyrodiil after 400 years of war. The Underking tells him that, with the Tribunal dead, Septim might steal the Tribunal's power and use it against the High Elves, certainly the oldest enemies of Lorkhan, predating even the Tribunal. Somerset Isle is the farthest thing from Tiber Septim's mind. Even then, he was planning to send Zurin Arctus to the King of Alinor to make peace. The Ebony Need wins out in the end. The Empire invades Morrowind, and the Tribunal give up. When certain conditions of the armistice include not only a policy of non-interference with the Tribunal, but also in the Underking's eyes a validation of their religious beliefs, Ysmir is furious. He abandons the Empire completely. This was the betrayal the Greybeards spoke of, or so he thinks. Without the Underking's power, all ideas of conquering Tamriel vanish. Would have been nice, Septim thinks, But let's just worry about Cyrodiil and the human nations. Already there is a rebellion in Hammerfell. Pieces of Numidium trickle in, though. Tiber Septim, always fascinated by the dwarves, has Zurin Arctus research this grand artifact. In doing so, Arctus stumbles upon some of the stories of the war at Red Mountain. He discovers the reasons the Numidium was made and some of its potential. Most importantly, he learns the Underking's place in the war. But Zurin Arctus was working from incomplete plans. He thinks it is the heart of Lorcan's body that is needed to power the Numidium. While Zurin Arctus is raving about his discovery, the prophecy finally becomes clear to Tiber Septim. This Numidium is what he needs to conquer the world. It is his destiny to have it. He contacts the Underking and says he was right all along. They should kill the tribunal, and they need to get together and make a plan. While the Underking was away, he realized the true danger of Daggothur. Something must be done. But he needs an army, and his old one is available again. The trap is set. The Underking arrives and is ambushed by Imperial guards. As he takes them on, Zurin Arctus uses a soul gem on him. With his last breath, the Underking's heart roars a hole through the battle mage's chest. In the end, everyone is dead. The Underking has reverted back to ash, and Tiber Septim strolls in to take the soul gem. When the Elder Council arrives, he tells them about the second attempt on his life, this time by his trusted battle mage, Zurin Arctus, who was attempting a coup. He has the dead guards celebrated as heroes, even the one who was blasted to ash. He warns Cyrodiil about the dangers within, but says he has a solution to the dangers without, the Mantella. The Numidium, while not the god Tiber Septim and the Dwemer hoped for, the Underking was not exactly Lorcan after all. It does the job. After its work on Somerset Isle, a new threat appears. A rotting undead wizard who controls the skies. He blows the Numidium apart, but it pounds him into the ground with its last flailings, leaving only a black splotch. The Mantella falls into the sea, seemingly forever. Meanwhile, Tiber Septim crowns himself the first emperor of Tamriel. He lives until he is 108, the richest man in history. All aspects of his early reign are rewritten. Still, there are conflicting reports of what really happened, and this is why there is such confusion over such questions as: why does Alcair claim to be the birthplace of Talos, while other sources say he came from Atmora? Why does Tiber Septim seem to be a different person after his first roaring conquests? Why does Tiber Septim betray his battle mage? Is this Mantella the heart of the battle mage, or is it the heart of Tiber Septim? Tiber Septim is succeeded by his grandson, Pelagius I. Pelagius is just not of the same caliber. In truth, he's a little nervous with all these provinces. Then an advisor shows up. "I was friends with your grandfather," the Underking says. "He sent me to help you run the empire." Interesting.
Fascinating.
Tiber Septim was a liar.
Was it?
He's a phony, a big fat phony.
Your shoes are.
Why are you talking about my shoes?
They're phonies. They're fakes. Liars.
There, I put some in health. Everybody should be happy now.
Okay, it's not for us that we do this. It's for you, so you live. You take 2 hits and die. It's not good.
Ugh, I need Eagle Eye. I really do.
Do you?
I do. And I can't improve that. About
2 more
lockpicking.
levels of archery shouldn't be that bad.
What now? What'd you say?
I'm saying more levels of archery shouldn't be that bad.
No.
Okay, all the things I want to put into are unavailable to me right now. Okay, fine. Wait, I need to go this way. I only got lost for a moment. Don't mind me. I wonder if that means I'm still a werewolf since it says all diseases are cured.
Yeah, werewolves aren't it. Being a werewolf isn't a disease.
Lycanthropy is a disease.
No. It's a blessing.
Old mutton chop head is sleeping. Keeping these two. Let's see if I can make some health. Do I not have any butterfly wings? That should make me some help. No, that doesn't. Alright. That's not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. I'll look up recipes later. Let's take a look at our journal. Miscellaneous. Should we go help the strange... I don't know if I want to go to the Greybeards. I don't want to do that. Let's go talk to the strange jester. That's what we'll do. Ah, nephew, Wolfie the Second. Yes, I am playing a sneaky archer. Of the sneaky archery type. And punishing myself by reading every book or one book per instance that I come into.
Slowly but surely you will read them all.
300 something books. As we level, and since I've never completed this game, attempt to do so. I should save. We did do a bunch. There we go.
820 actually.
How many?
820.
There is not 820.
I literally just looked
No,
it up.
no, you are fibbing. There is no way.
There are 820 individual books in this game.
Yes, with the expansions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. 800 books you guys are gonna have me read?
Yes.
I hurt.
Not yet. Not allowed to.
The pain is real.
Not allowed to.
That ninja hearing. I knew that was there. Ha ha ha. I still think I should have stolen that bow, because this bow sucks.
I keep telling you, steal it. You can
See,
still go steal
I'm
it.
a sneak, but I'm not a thief, so...
Do it. Be a sneak thief.
But I'm not a sneak thief. That's the thing.
Take a vote.
Arkerbach is here. Good afternoon. I'm happy to see you. See, I'm not going to steal. I'm an honest, sneaky
My
sneak.
ass, you are.
I am so... You know, for that, now look at this. Now it's going to die.
Dare you?
Because you're being mean to me. Damn it, missed. I don't have enough arrows to keep at it. Please tell me I'm on the right road.
I don't know. I doubt it. Actually, stop. You don't even have the objective back.
I do now! Ah! Sorry, I didn't mean to scream.
They're not thief.
Nice try, but you do not scare me. I am not going to ask
be a thief.
again. Don't you walk away from me.
He tried to steal from me. So you know what? Now I'm going to make you nude. And there you go. That's what you get. You stay nude now. Forever. He attacked me when I'm being honest and nice, so you shall die in the rain on the road naked. And I'm going to sell his belongings. That's right. Where is this? Oh, here's the farm up here. See, yeah, we're going the right direction. And you thought I was lost. I'm always lost, but not this time. I went the right way. I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
It's because there was a road.
Shush. Maybe.
Definitely.
Father and me funnel. Stuck here. Stuck.
Is there a problem?
Poor Cicero is stuck.
Problem?
Can't you see? I was transporting my dear, sweet mother. Well, not her.
That shit insane.
She's quite dead. I'm taking mother to a new home, a new crypt, but wagon wheel, damnedest wagon wheel. It broke. Don't you see? Oh yes, yes. The kindly stranger can certainly help.
Oh my.
Farm, the Lord's
Oh
farm.
my.
Just over there, off the road. Dr. Loris, he has tools. He can help me. He won't. He refuses. Convince Loris to fix my wheel. Do that, and poor Cicero will reward you with coin. Gleamy, shiny coin.
Oof. You are a piece of work, Cicero. Cicero is a definite, complete piece of work. I want to kill the chicken. I want to
You
kill the
don't
chicken.
even know the half of it.
Apparently, I'm going to be surprised at some point by that man. Yep.
Oh, for the love of Mara, what now? That Cicero fella? Huh, tell me something I don't know. The crazy fool's already asked me about 5 times. Seems he's not satisfied with my answer. Why can't you just leave us alone? Pay me? You think this is about money? Have you seen the man? He's completely out of his head. A jester here in Skyrim? Ain't been a merry man in these parts for 100 years. And he's transporting some giant box. Says it's a coffin, and he's going to bury his mother. Mother, my eye. Could have anything in there. War contraband, weapons, scuba. No way I'm getting involved in any of that. you're right. Fella might be.
Yay! Persuasion check.
Fact is, he needs
Woo!
help. Turn him away. What kind of a man am I?
That's right. What kind of man are you?
And I'm sorry for my unneighborly reaction. If you talk to Cicero, you be sure to tell him I'll be down to help soon.
See? It's not so hard to be a good neighbor. Oh God, please tell me there's... Oh, it's a book! Okay. The Woodcutter's Wife, Volume 1, as told by Mogan, son of Molag. Legend tells of a woodcutter who built a shack deep within the pine forest. There, he hoped to live in peace with his family. The woodcutter's family lived well for a time, but without warning, the weather turned bitterly cold and spoiled the harvest. Before long, with their meager supply of food all but gone, the family was starving. Late one snowy night, a traveler knocked on the cabin door, seeking shelter from the biting cold. Always generous of heart, the woodcutter welcomed the stranger into his home, apologizing that he had no food to offer. With a smile, the traveler cast off his cloak to reveal the garments of a mage. As the woodcutter and his family looked on, the mysterious visitor reached into his satchel and withdrew a scroll tied with a silver ribbon. No sooner had the wizard unfurled the scroll and read the words aloud, when a great feast appeared from out of thin air. That night, nobody in the woodcutter's cabin went hungry. Day by day, the snow piled up. Every night, the mage produced another scroll from his bag and read the words, each time summoning a new feast. On the 5th night, the woodcutter's wife awoke her husband to confess her mistrust of their magical guest. Surely, she argued, there was some price to pay for the magical feast that everyone enjoyed night after night. The woodcutter would have none of it. After nearly dying from the lack of food, his family was eating well. The divines had sent them a gift, he explained, and it was foolish to question their wisdom. But the woodcutter's wife would not be persuaded. Every night she grew more fearful and more desperate. She was certain that the family had entered into the devil's bargain, and the time would soon come when the mage would ask for something unspeakable in return for his gifts. While everyone in the cabin slept, the woodcutter's wife snuck out of bed and took her husband's axe in hand. She crept into the traveler's room and with one swing lopped off his head. Ew! Suddenly, the wizard's disembodied head awoke. His eyes opened wide, and when he beheld his maimed body, he let forth a terrible cry. Awakened by the horrified scream, the woodcutter and his children rushed into the room and gasped at the terrible sight of the decapitated mage. With his last gasp of breath, the traveler laid a fearful curse on the woodcutter's wife. After her mortal death, she was damned to rise once again and walk the woods alone, only to burn at the rising of the sun. To this day, those who walk the pine forest late at night tell tales of a weeping woman glimpsed between the trees. She carries a bloody axe, the stories say, and is terrifying to behold. We read part 2 of that. Definitely creepy.
You need something? You need something?
I do, Soul. That's what I was just saying. That was the before. Now we know where she came from and what her fate was.
Neato.
We're getting a lot of lore in, at least.
Yeah.
You just want...
Fancy.
I know, very, very fancy.
You did? He has?
See.
What a happy little man.
Yeah. Happy.
So jubilant and ecstatic, but more, even more, my mother and you. Here for your troubles. Shine gold. A few coins for your kind deed. And thank you again.
some gold. I'll take it. I think it's time for us. How much gold do we have? 3,300. Not enough for the spot yet. However, let's go to Falkreath and see if we haven't discovered it yet. Alright, so in the meantime, what else do we have? Find Amren's family sword inside the Voltime ruins. Let's do that. It's pointed that way. And that's High Hrothgar. Let's go here and we'll run across. Now that we've read a couple more books, let's go ahead and save. Make sure I go the right direction this time. Because we all understand that I get lost just all day. Cross the bridge. Okay. Here we see the bridge is being crossed. Boom. Butt shot. Gleamy, shiny, clinky coins. I don't know why, but that man kind of creeps me out a little bit.
Which one?
Thank goodness. I've been wandering alone for so long, I thought I'd never see another. I was kidnapped by these bandits weeks ago. They locked me up in the towers near Mistwatch. I managed to pick the lock and slip out while the guards slept, but now I'm completely lost. Can you help me, please? Oh, thank you. But I should be fine now that you've shown me the way. Those bandits have to be stopped. They're at Mistwatch. Here, let me show you on your map. If you can stop them, you'll be a true hero.
She didn't mark it on my map. She lied. She lied. Why so fib? Look at that weak sausage. I meant to get ready. Let's see if we can get another butt shot. Yeah, bam! I think I was gonna say, if that was not a brown star shot, I don't know what is.
Right on Main Street.
Hold on, let's take a look. Is it? Nope. Well, nope. It's right above it. It's right in the spine, though. That had to hurt. Only momentarily. There's a stone over here. What stone? Says there's a stone up there. Which one? Should we go investigate? Be distracted?
Sure, why not?
Okie dokie. Soul wants me to go to the college, or I mean, nephew. Nephew wants me to go to the college, but says butt shots are lethal. Which apparently I just proved. There's somebody there. Are they going to be aggressive towards me? That's my question. Yep, they are. Necromancer. Let's see. Bone meal, some arrows. some ash. I'll take the amethyst. And let's see. Poison, some robes. So you're now naked. Everybody's naked. What does this one do? What does the ritual stone give?
Naked. Everybody.
Did I want the ritual or do I want to keep thief? I do need a couple more points. Oh, hey. Hey, look. Puppy butt shots. Come on, puppies. No, not far enough. Oh, but I woke him up. Where are you going, puppies? There's 3 of you. There's 3 of you. Come on. How did that miss? RNGeebus. One's down. Sorry, puppies. Give me your pelts. I need them. Poor puppies. They're all deaded now.
I guess you could say they're deaded to you.
They are deaded to me. Put-em, chink. I should have asked Bunny to make tea. Because my throat... All this reading. Oh, you had to run, you little turd. I've read 3 already this stream, thank you very much. Really? That didn't kill it? Never mind. Not wasting my arrows. Free antlers would have been one thing. I need to go that way. Do I? Yeah, we gotta go along the road. But I know there's some baddies up in this tower, so I'm gonna stay crouched. We might find another book.
Why?
Nephew wants me to go fight a giant. He wants to watch me get pelted up into the sky. Okay, they're running after them to hunt. Damn. Damn it. Come on. Really? Well, I got plenty of arrows. Nice! Oh, look at that! Woo! Bam! Nice shot. Oh, that at least hurt. Wanna shoot at me? Wanna shoot at me, bruh? Killed your little friends. And the one kind of fell down the hole. But come on over. Come on over. Go ahead, go to sleep, everybody. You forget that I'm here. Well, I come down here all sneaky like and pick up my loot from knocking that chick off the wall. I'm not seeing a body. And I know she fell. I watched her fall down the thing. Oh, stop staring at me. Don't tell me they fell into the water. No, there they are. All your arrows are belong to me. Go ahead and forget that I'm here. You're gonna shoot at me like that. At least hit. There's a book.
Yes. I knew it.
You knew nothing, Jon Snow.
Damn good thing I'm not Jon Snow.
Oh, wow. You really did come all the way out here. You want a piece of me. Oh, you're the chief! Holy crap, I'm not supposed to go after you yet. You're gonna make me take a potion.
Run with you.
Damn it.
Like, and all
Potion. Right in your face hole. Go ahead and keep shooting at me. You missed more often than you hit. But that took care of the chief too. Ooh, hey, give me your gold. Ooh, that'll sell for nice.
Steel armor's better. What you got?
I'm only wearing medium. Now, I don't think they're going to let me read this book, do you?
They probably will. Game pauses.
Alright, let's read our mysterious book. The Song of Pellinol, Volume 4, On His Deeds. Editor's note, volumes 1 through 6 are taken from the so-called Remain manuscript located in the Imperial Library. It is a transcription of older fragments collected by an unknown scholar of the early Second Era. Beyond this, little is known of the original sources of these fragments, some of which appear to be from the same period, perhaps even from the same manuscript. But as no scholarly consensus yet exists on dating these 6 fragments, no opinions will be offered here. Pellinol drove the sorcerer armies past the Niben, claiming all the eastern lands for the rebellion of the Paravania. Ankine had to send her rain to wash the blood from the villages and forts that no longer flew. Aelid banners for the armies of men needed to make camps of them as they went forward. And he broke the doors open for the prisoners of the Votachi, with the slave queen flying on Morihas above them. And men called her Alesh for the first time. He entered the gate to win back the hands of the 1,000 strong of Sedor, a tribe now unknown but famous in these days, which the Aelids had stolen in the night, 2,000 hands that he brought back in a wagon made of demon bone, whose wheels trailed the sound of women when ill at heart. Text lost and after. The first pogrom, which consolidated the northern holdings for the men of Creath, he stood with white hair gone brown with his elf blood at the bridge of Helden, where Periv's falconers had sent for the Nords, and they looking at him said that Shor had returned. But he spat at their feet for profaning that name. He led them anyway into the heart of the hinterland west, to drive the Aelids inward, towards the Tower of White Gold. a slow retreating circle that could not understand the power of man's sudden liberty. And what fury idea that brought! His mace crushed the Thunderknocks and the Umaril sent as barriers on the rebellion's long march back south and east, and carried Morihaus, Breath of Kine, to Zouthas the Clever, cutting Man and Ned with a Keptu name for healing when the bull had fallen to a volley of bird beaks. And of course, at the Council of Skiffs, where all of Paravania's armies and all of the Nords shook with fear at the storming of White Gold, so much so that the Alesh herself counseled delay, Polino grew furious, and made names of Umaril, and made names of what cowards he thought he saw around him, and then made for the tower by himself, for Polino often acted without thought. Come on, baby, baby. Oh, now. Don't be naughty. Come on, you want to open for me. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Come on. There we go. Gold, gold, gold. Shiny, clinky gold. Now let's go play with these dingle hoppers, huh? Look at that one. Way the yard. Oh, now you're finally hitting me. But you're dead. You got one, darling. You got one. Take what you can get. Can I shoot across the ravine? No, not really. Well, I've already killed the chief, so this guy here is going to make his way towards me. This imp bow, that's probably better than my bow. Oh, we want to play bow games? That's fine. Shall we play? Shall I watch you die? Oh, look at the... Oh, right in the armpit. Woo! Shiny. You did. My bow apparently was better than your bow. Do I have a pickaxe? I do, so I don't need to take that one. Don't mind if I do. Now, we had a friend that decided to play bow games. Let's see what he has for me. Some more arrows. One can never have too many arrows. Alright, we've gathered some ore, we've conquered this little area, we've read some books. I think we've had a fairly successful day. There's more books, but I've already read one in this section, so we're good. Did I just hear you say no?
No, I said hello.
Oh, hello, darling.
Does it?
It's going.
I just saw that gold ore node, and it is very pretty
It's
compared to base game.
the only add-ons I have are aesthetic. Books glow so that I know which ones have been read and not, because
I've seen that mod, and that is very important.
for what I'm doing for this, yes.
100 books? Yeah.
Yeah, for 800 book reading, and
She's around about 20.
I've leveled up. Awesome. I will take the level.
Hey, you can get some. Did you not? You didn't read the book?
I kept it. It's going into my actual library.
Oh, you're not gonna actually read it.
Not that one. No. Here's Amren's sword.
I thought you were gonna read every book.
I am, but I give my voice a break. Oh crap! I'm not able to run. What it is per like instance, like I just conquered this. So when I walked in and we saw the glowing book, it's like, oh damn it! It's the first book you see. You have to stop and read it. Just like when I finished saving the Greymane, I went into the Greymane's home. The first book I saw, I went, bunch of books. Okay. So we stopped and read. It interrupts, but we understand it is necessary. Hey, I'm overweighted here. Find me something heavy that I need to drop off.
Amren's family sword.
I should probably wear that. This elven armor is probably better than what I'm wearing.
I like the elven armor. I don't like it aesthetically, but it works. I keep telling you to wear it, and you just ignore me.
I'm not.
I should probably wear it.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm wearing vampire. Remember, see, because we're wearing vampire clothes. Remember? Do you want me to switch to the elven or
How did you get the vampire armor?
killed some vampires?
Ah, nice.
I'm a wolf. Ow.
You're a wolf wearing vampire armor.
Uh-huh.
Using a
Now, how funny is that? Come on, that's kind of funny.
That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever done the full wolf playthrough.
Let me store that.
I don't know if you're
There.
interested or not, but there's a way to cheese that neighboring giant.
Picking that up. Now I'm too fat again. All right.
Hey, when I'm too bow of sapping.
It might be better than my bow.
Probably better than your bow because you have a base.
Freaking
base
bow.
bit.
It's a 12. All right. There.
She has a big
Yeah, I haven't really done much. So this is a 10. Yeah, that's a 12. And matter of fact, why don't we put that hunting bow in there so we have a little weight leeway. We've got Amren's sword, so we'll go turn that in. And at that point, I should be hit up by a courier to go to Falkreath. And then I can become Thane and then get the little house or the land, and we'll start doing that.
And then she'll get married.
Oh yeah, Vorstag will be mine. He's a Vorstag. I like his voice. He's handsome.
Where is Vorstad located? He's a random mercenary you can hire. Oh.
He's handsome and he's nice. I like him. I'm.
Of course you can go back to that tower after you drop off all this stuff.
I'm sure I could.
I can tell you how to cheese that giant. Make it really easy so you don't go zoom.
I'm not gonna wait 24 hours.
The astronaut program.
You know what? It's only 8 o'clock. Are they closed? Damn it, they are.
Let me just sleep.
Go into Gervasker to sleep, and then I'm gonna wake up in the morning and sell a bunch of stuff. Maybe turn in this sword.
You don't want to break into Belthor's and rob them blind.
I don't. I'm not a thief.
Which, it drives me nuts. I mean, there's so much free shit lying around, and you just can't bring yourself to take it?
I'm not I'm not why are you all in here picking on me? I'm trying to provide a service here.
You really should be stealing stuff. How you properly do that. I don't care if you steal stuff or not. I do. Just be the mage. I'm a sneak thief. Or I'm a sneak archer. Sneak thief archer.
Stealth archer is what I am. The next time I play, I'm gonna be a beefy Fosroda, you know, big iron helmet, beefy stature, and oh crap, I'm back in Jorvasker, and look at all these glowing books. Damn this rule. I gotta, hold on. I gotta turn you up. For some reason this time you're very quiet. I need to add what? I still want to put the cursing crab on here. You know, every mud crab.
Oh, all the mud crabs will say, "Fuck! God damn it!"
And Vrelk has the pew pew mod that every time you notch an arrow and let it go, it goes pew, pew, pew.
Oh god.
Which I think would get annoying after a while, which is why I didn't install it. But the cursing crabs, I think, would be entertaining.
You don't fight them that often, so like
Right.
occasionally one will be like, "Oh, you can't fast travel. You have an enemy near you." Okay, fuck. I forget about it every time. I'm shocked every single time.
So we could have a good laugh over that one.
Just all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, it's just a normal bug crab."
Pretty much. Next book up is An Explorer's Guide to Skyrim by Marcius Carvane, Viscount Bruma. Far too often, noble visitors from Cyrodiil see little more of Skyrim than the view from their carriage. To be sure, this coarse, uncivilized province is far from hospitable, but it is also a place of fierce, wild beauty, with grand vistas and inspiring natural wonders awaiting those with the will to seek them out, and the refinement to truly appreciate them. If you are of a mind to see Skyrim for yourself, I recommend beginning your adventure as I did by seeking out Stones of Fate. No doubt you are taken aback by the name, as I once was. The provincials and village folk have all manner of dark tales about these ancient monuments. Stories of necromantic rituals and fell spirits of great and terrible powers conferred on any who dare to touch them. The stories are, as Jarl Igruf once told me, a load of mammoth dung. A bit uncouth, but you get the point. To be sure, keep your guards with you at all times. Brigands and wild animals are never to be taken lightly. But the stones themselves are nothing to fear. Quite the contrary. Their proximity to cities and roads makes them ideal destinations for the novice explorer, and many boast spectacular views that make the journey well worth the effort. To whet your appetite, here are 4 such locations. Most travelers enter Skyrim by way of Helgen, gateway to the north. If you find yourself in this backwater hovel, consider taking an afternoon's ride to the north, keeping to the road as it winds down the cliffs at the eastern end of Lake Ilonata. Just off the path, on a small bluff, lie 3 guardian stones, the greatest concentration of standing stones in all Skyrim. The view of the lake here at sunset is simply sublime. Visitors from Chendinal will pass through Riften, city of intrigue and larceny since Tiber Septim's day. If you seek adventure in the Rift, leave the city by the southern gate and cast your gaze upon the bluff that rises to the south. Atop it sits the Shadow Stone, a fitting symbol for the city of thieves. Whiterun is the heart of Skyrim, its towering palace rivaling even the great castles of Cyrodiil. But should you tire of the Jarl's hospitality, another adventure awaits a few hours to the east of the city, along the road that rises above White River Gorge. The ritual stone can be found atop the lone hill that rises on the north side of the road, set into an ancient monument. Take time to soak in the incredible view of Whiterun, the tundra, and the gorge from this unique spot. More seasoned explorers may wish to visit Markarth, the ancient city of stone far to the west. The recent Forsworn rebellion has made travel in the Reach perilous, but for those determined to seek adventure, no matter the cost, another stone can be found to the east of the city, perched on the mountains above Kolskagar Mine. Though the climb is difficult, reaching the summit is a milestone any explorer could be proud of. There are other stones of fate to be found in Skyrim. I myself have seen several more, perched on the most remote mountain peaks or wreathed in fog amid the northern marshes. But the true joy of exploration is in the discovery, and so I leave the rest to you. May the 8 guide your steps. Pass out time! There, 9 o'clock, right? That should be enough time for everybody to be up. Get up, you lazy slobs. Let's go. We have a sword to turn in, and we have booty to sell. I joined a new guild in ESO, and I'm absolutely in love with it. It's called Rum and Wreckage. It's glorious. They are incredibly nice.
Here, my father had a favorite sword and shield technique. Let me teach it to you in honor of his memory. Travel said prepare for summer.
Look at that. He taught me things. Isn't he nice? Let's see. What else? We can visit the college. Yeah, it looks like after we sell some booty, that's what we're going to do. We've ran out of things to do. I haven't gotten my summons to the Jarl of Falkreath yet.
You don't want to talk to the wise old wizards on the top of the mountain?
Do I want to go play with the Greybeards? Not particularly.
Progress the storyline as a main character?
Nah, why would I do that? Let's see, what will you buy from me? You can't have that or that. Or that or that. So what was the decision? Am I switching from vampire to elf?
What?
That's the question.
Vampire to elf?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I vote for go to the best armor you can get. I don't want you dying.
I guess I'm gonna let it go and sell it. Goodbye, vampire armor.
You could save it and put it on a mannequin later.
I can get more.
This is true. More vampires will be slain by your hand. Undoubtedly.
To check inside the shop.
So now. Oh look, it makes my face look super cute. Look at me! I'm pretending to be a Thalmor. I'm adorable.
I think that were kind of racist. Here.
They're assholes. But I'm not one. I just look cute in your armor. Oh, more books. I shouldn't have walked in here.
Everything's for sale.
Can't walk into buildings ever. Can't buy anything new because they're all gonna go to waste.
I need to go see if I can break that one down.
Oranges, peaches, pomegranates.
I know, right?
Playing, whatchamacallit, Stardew Valley.
Oh, I love that game. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
There we go. Now he's giving me some skills. Can I not break that down?
Can't break down staffs.
You can't.
They're spells, not,
Okay.
enchantments.
I will, Breton Face. Aren't you handsome? Now give me more speech skill points. By the way, I'm going to go read your books now, so let's see. Quit trying to buy my relatives. Stop it.
No, he just wants to sell your sister.
I don't think anybody wants to pay for her. I'm sorry to say. Alright, Beggar Prince. The story of Weedle and his gifts from the Daedric Lord Namira. We look down upon the beggars of the Empire. These lost souls are the poor and wretched of the land. Every city has its beggars. Most are so poor, they have only the clothes on their backs. They eat the scraps the rest of us throw out. We toss them a coin so that we don't have to think too long about their plight. Imagine my surprise when I heard the tale of the beggar prince. I could not imagine what a prince of beggars would be. Here is the tale I heard. It takes place in the First Age, when gods walked like men, and Daedra stalked the wilderness with impunity. It is a time before they were all confined to oblivion. There once was a man named Weedle, or maybe it was a woman. The story goes to great lengths to avoid declaring Weedle's gender. Weedle was the 13th child of a king in Valenwood. As such, Weedle was in no position to take the throne or even inherit much property or wealth. Weedle had left the palace to find independent fortune and glory. After many days of endless forest and roads and tiny villages, Weedle came upon 3 men surrounding a beggar. The beggar was swaddled in rags from head to toe. Nor portion of the vagabond's body was visible. The men were intent on slaying the beggar. With a cry of rage and indignation, Weedle charged the men with sword drawn. Being simple townsfolk, armed only with pitchforks and scythes, they immediately fled from the armored figure with the shining sword. "Many thanks for saving me," wheezed the beggar from beneath the heap of foul rags. Weedle could barely stand the stench. "What is your name, wretch?" Weedle asked. "I am Namira." Unlike the townsfolk, Weedle was well learned. That name meant nothing to them, but to Weedle it was an opportunity. "You are the Daedric Lord," Weedle exclaimed. "Why did you allow those men to harass you? You could have slain them all with a whisper." "I am pleased you recognize me," Namira rasped. "I am frequently reviled by townsfolk. It pleases me to be recognized for my attribute, if not for my name." Weedle knew that Namira was the Daedric Lord of all things gross and repulsive. Diseases such as leprosy and gangrene were her domain. Where others might have seen danger, Weedle saw opportunity. "O great Namira, let me apprentice myself to you. I ask only that you grant me powers to make my fortune and forge a name for myself that will live through the ages. Nay, I make my way alone in the world. I have no need for an apprentice. Namira shambled off down the road. Weedle would not be put off. With a bound, Weedle was at Namira's heel, pressing the case for an apprenticeship. For 33 days and nights, Weedle kept up the debate. Namira said nothing, but Weedle's voice was ceaseless. Finally, on the 33rd day, Weedle was too hoarse to talk. Namira looked back on the suddenly silent figure. Weedle knelt in the mud at her feet, open hand raised in supplication. It would seem you have completed your apprenticeship to me after all, Namira declared. I shall grant your request. Weedle was overjoyed. I grant you the power of disease. You may choose to be afflicted with any disease you choose, changing them at will, so long it has visible symptoms. However, you must always bear at least one. I grant you the power of pity. You may evoke pity in anyone that sees you. Finally, I grant you the power of disregard. You may cause others to disregard your presence. Weedle was aghast. These were not boons from which a fortune could be made. They were curses, each awful in its own right, but together they were unthinkable. How am I to make my fortune and forge a name for myself with these terrible gifts? As you begged at my feet for 33 days and 33 nights, so shall you now beg for your fortune in the cities of men. Your name will become legendary among the beggars of Tamriel. The story of Weedle, the Prince of Beggars, shall be handed down throughout the generations. It was as Namira predicted. Weedle was an irresistible beggar. None could see the wretch without desperately wanting to toss a coin at the huddled form. However, Weedle also discovered that the power of disregard gave great access to the secrets of the realms. People unknowingly said important things where Weedle could hear them. Weedle grew to know the comings and goings of every citizen in the city. To this day, it is said that if you really want to know something, go ask the beggars. They have eyes and ears throughout the cities. They know all the little secrets of the daily lives of its citizens. Don't come back. Yeah. Bark, bark, bark. I know, right?
I'll bark up your tree.
Alright, so I would like to put more in stamina, but I'm sure you guys are going to say health.
Well, actually, go ahead. I'll give you.
Alright. Still 26. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough. 30. Is 30 enough to finally give it to me? It is! Oh! Yay!
You get A, you can point archery.
Yay! I have 2 points left. I can start these two.
Horseradish is gross.
I'm allergic to it, darling. It'll kill me.
The more you know.
Mm-hmm.
Really? What part of it?
Let's go to the college. I mean, I thought by now... What level am I? Hold on. We're level 9. Normally, by now, Falkreath wants our attention. But I guess we're gonna go to Winterhold. Check out the college. And we've only got another 15 minutes left of the stream anyway. So, maybe by that point, the courier will catch up to us. And be like, hey, the Jarl of Falkreath wants to play with you.
He wants your babies.
See, because once I get my land ownership thing, then we can finally hunt down a husbando.
Oh, right. I did this same thing. Can you open your quest list for me? And go down to miscellaneous. Because, if you have something considered a certain type of quest, you cannot get it. Okay, you don't have it. Never mind. It's something like if you have get the mammoth trunk for Ysolda, you can't get the quest to give the mead to the
You take me to any of the old capitals.
Falkirk.
Where do you want to go?
50 gold. Oh man.
Oh, steady.
Let us travel forth and seek out the college and become wise. I'm scared to go to the college because books.
Just don't go in the library.
Yeah, don't go to the second floor.
There's a book you have to at some point.
Right, so
At some point. Just not this point.
Well, see, the thing is, you only have to read once every time you go up there.
Cross the bridge at your own peril. The way is dangerous, and the gate will not open. You shall not gain entry.
Freaking owl. Okay.
Oh, forgive me.
This thing.
Most who arrive here do so because they have heard of the college beforehand. This is the College of Winterhold, a safe haven for mages in Skyrim, a place of wisdom and arcane knowledge. Perhaps, but what is it you expect to find within?
Maybe 28 of spring. You can't feel life.
Yes, the School of Illusion can be quite influential. Kings have risen to power because of it, and empires have been raised with it. It would seem that the college has what you seek. The question now is, what can you offer the college? Not just anyone is allowed inside. Those wishing to enter must show some degree of skill with magic. A small test, if you will. No, I'm afraid I don't know anything of the sort.
I had to try.
A standard spell for one
What did you
skilled in
try?
destruction
Persuasion.
is the fireball.
Oh.
Casting
let
one
me
of the
in.
seal
I
on
don't
the
have
ground
much.
would be sufficient.
Prowess.
No. Well, if you think you're capable of it, then I'd be happy to provide it to you for a mere 30 gold. Or you can try your luck with one of the court wizards around Skyrim. They also sell spells. Here you are. Now I'm anxious to see you cast it. The college is an asset to Skyrim, even if it goes unnoticed. I'm being attacked!
Stop right there. Now, come along with us. We'll take any stolen goods, and you'll be free to go. After you pay the fine, of course.
So she told me to cast the firebolt. I did. And she says she's being attacked. Ain't that some bullshit?
You cast it at her?
Yeah.
Why would you cast it at her?
That's
why.
I casted it next to her and she still didn't like it, so I casted it at her.
No matter what, the college will endure. If you can pass the test, then yes. Excellent. Yes, you were going to demonstrate your ability, were you not?
On Sunday, I can give her a chance.
Much
It will
knowledge.
give her once.
Yes.
I am casting it.
Please, don't
You're
hurt
going
me.
to bug me this time.
Well done indeed. I think you'll be a superb addition to the college. Welcome, Phoenix.
Apparently, I was supposed to blast the thing.
Once you're inside, you'll want to speak with Mirabelle
There's a lot
Irving,
to
our
be
master
fucking
wizard.
small about that.
Follow me.
Oh, I got an achievement. Yay!
What did you get?
Gatekeeper. Achievement. Following the Thalmor. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Uh-oh, I might need to sneeze.
She was an altar. What's the difference?
Excuse me.
That's you.
I'm here. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I had to sneeze. Sorry. Come on. It's kind of cold up here.
On a bridge in the middle of the north. It's windy.
All right. Let us go this way.
I believe I've made myself rather clear.
Yes,
Yeah, my
Welcome to the college.
soft.
Another new student. I'm surprised at how many of you there are lately.
Trash
Well,
an item. You're
first you'll need
50% of
these.
the value.
While you're not required to wear them, you may find them more to your liking than your current.
I might do that at the beginning of
I'll
this.
give you a brief tour, and then we'll get you to your first class. Are you ready to begin? Wonderful. Please follow me,
Price
and
copper
don't
bars.
wander off. Magic Winterhold has been a fixture in Skyrim for thousands of years. The prominent feature here is the Hall of the Elements. It's our primary location for lectures, practice sessions,
Who are
and general
you?
meetings. The Arcadian is located above the hall, and the Archmage's quarters above that. While technically in charge of the college, the Archmage's responsibilities often keep him occupied. Thus, I run the day-to-day operations. Now, if you'll please follow me, I'll show you the living quarters. Unfortunately, we've had to implement more stringent entry procedures due to some problems with the local Nords. We don't anticipate any real violence, but it never hurts to be prepared.
Waiting impatiently for you to show me around. You.
Our newest members are housed here, in the Hall of Attainment. I'll ask that you please keep your voice down while inside, as others may be working on research or delicate experiments. Now I'll show you to your quarters. You're going to be sharing space with your fellow apprentices, who you'll meet shortly. This is where you'll be staying. This bed and desk are yours. Please try and be considerate of others. Now, let's go back to the Hall of the Elements, where most of the members gather for lectures and study sessions.
There's a book. There's a book. I swear I read this one though. Nope, I hadn't. Alright. One last book, and then I'm going to go ahead and save and call it a night. Because I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. So, Azura and the Box, Ancient Tales of the Dwemer, Part 11, by Marabar Soul. Nickelbar had enjoyed an adventurous youth, but had grown to be a very wise, very old Dwemer who spent his life researching for the truth and dispelling superstitions. He invented much and created many theorems and logic structures that bore his name. But much of the world still puzzled him, and nothing was a greater enigma to him than the nature of the Aedra and Daedra. Over the course of his research, he came to the conclusion that many of the gods were entirely fabricated by man and mare. Nothing, however, was his greater question to Nicobar than the limits of divine power. Were the greater beings the masters of the entire world? Or did the humbler creatures have the strength to forge their own destinies? As Nicobar found himself nearing the end of his life, he felt he must understand this last basic truth. Among the sage's acquaintances was a holy chimer priest named Athenec. When the priest was visiting Thalag Zuturums, Nicobar told him what he intended to do to find the nature of divine power. Athenec was terrified and pleaded with his friend not to break this great mystery. But Nicobar was resolute. Finally, the priest agreed to assist out of love for his friend, though he feared the results of this blasphemy. Athenec summoned Azura. After the usual rituals by which the priest declared his faith in her powers, and Azura agreed to do no harm to him. Nicobar and a dozen of his students entered the summoning chamber, carrying with them a large box. As we see you in our land, Azura, you are the goddess of the dusk and dawn, and all the mysteries therein, said Nicothar, trying to appear as kindly and obsequious as he could be. It is said that your knowledge is absolute. So it is, smiled the Daedra. You would know, for example, what is in this wooden box, said Nicobar. Azura turned to Athenec, her brow furrowed. The priest was quick to explain. Goddess, this Dwemer is a very wise and respected man. Believe me, please. The intention is not to mock your greatness, but to demonstrate it to the scientist and to the rest of his skeptical race. I have tried to explain your power to him, but his philosophy is such that he must see it demonstrated. If I am to demonstrate my might in a way to bring the Dwemer race to understanding, it might have been a more impressive feat you would have me do, growled Azura, and turned to look at Nicobar in the eyes. There is a red-petaled flower in the box. Nicobar did not smile or frown. He simply opened the box and revealed to all that it was empty. When the students turned to look at Azura, she was gone. Only Athenec had seen the goddess's expression before she vanished. And he could not speak. He was trembling so. A curse had fallen, he knew that truly, but even crueler was the knowledge of divine power that had been demonstrated. Nicobar also looked pale, uncertain on his feet, but his face shone with not fear but bliss. The smile of a Dwemer finding evidence for a truth only suspected. 2 of his students supported him, and 2 more supported the priest as they left the chamber. I have studied very much over the years, performed countless experiments, taught myself 1,000 languages, and yet the skill that has taught me the final truth is the one that I learned when I was but a poor young man, trying only to have enough gold to eat, whispered the sage. As he was escorted up the stairs to his bed, a red flower petal fell from the sleeve of his voluminous robe. Nicobar died that night, a portrait of peace that comes from contented knowledge. Publisher's note. This is another tale whose origin is unmistakably Dwemer. Again, the words of some Admaris translations are quite different, but the essence of the story is the same. The Dunmer have a similar tale about Nicobar, but in the Dunmer version, Azura recognizes the trick and refuses to answer the question. She slays the Dwemer present for their skepticism and curses the Dunmer for blasphemy. As the Aldmeris versions, Azura is tricked not by an empty box, but by a box containing a sphere which somehow becomes a flat square. Of course, the Aldmeris versions, being a few steps closer to the original Dwemer, are much more difficult to understand. Perhaps this stage magic explanation was added by Gore Phelim because of Phelim's own experience with such tricks in his plays when a mage was not available. Maribel's soul left even the character of Nicobar alone, and he represents many Dwemer virtues. His skepticism, while not nearly as absolute as in the Aldmeris version, is celebrated even though it brings a curse upon the Dwemer and the unnamed house of the poor priest. Whatever the true nature of the gods, and how right and wrong the Dwemer were about them, this tale might explain why the dwarves vanished from the face of Tamriel. Though Nicobar and his kind may not have intended to mock the Aedra and Daedra, their skepticism certainly offended the divine orders. Well now, this is where I am going to save and say goodnight.
Good to know.
There we go. Alright, thanks everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate your time. Next time, we'll continue our questing and more books, more books, more books. Apparently we have 800 plus. Until next time, take care everyone.